Hey guys, welcome back to A Woman's Worth and Equality TV. I am Ladina G and I am going to be talking about a woman's worth. We're going to be talking about low self-esteem and how we get out of that icky trap. Let's see. First, I have some amazing news to share with you. I am going to New York for the first time ever. I did the beauty project with Steve Gatlin, and he is going to be there as well. There is a lady over there that is having a screening of a documentary called Misrepresentation, and she has chosen my Flashes of Beauty segment to premiere before the documentary. So that is the super coolest thing ever in the whole entire world. Yeah, New York City. Okay, not to mention my Facebook crush is going to be there, and he is like his own bright, shiny spirit, so we'll see how that goes too. Let's see. Okay, so I've not really been excited about going into my past for some reason. I just have to be real with you guys. This is not something that is going to be easy for me, but what is more important is that the information gets out there. So I'm going to bite the bullet and just go ahead and I have my journal. I'm going to read some journal entries. I'm also going to tell you what you need to do to feel better, and then I'm going to elaborate on that with my own experiences. So back to how I got from my dark days to experiencing my dreams. Okay, first of all, any information that you hear here, I have no blame for anyone that has done me wrong. I have healed what I've needed to heal, and I have forgiven who I've needed to forgive. I've also forgiven myself for maybe wrong perspectives on situations, and I've also had to overcome my feeling of not wanting to hurt anyone, so I wouldn't really confront them about the things that they did wrong or stand up for myself, because I was afraid that I just didn't want to cause any friction, didn't want to cause any problems. So, but I've learned that eventually that fighting little spirit that we have inside will not let that shit fly. So I have learned how to stand up for myself. What I really want to start with is how a woman becomes unaware of her own worth. There's a million different ways. Sexual abuse, neglect, not fitting in, not living up to your parents' standards, not having enough money to buy clothes to fit in, not speaking a language that the majority of the rest of the people around you speak, not having a religion that anyone else identifies with, someone just not even holding you when you're a baby. Like, there's a million different ways that we can become unaware of our real worth. And so it's not something you should be ashamed of. So many people feel low about themselves. It's completely unnecessary, but at the same time, it happens. It happens to the best of us. It happens to the smartest of us. It happens to the prettiest of us. It happens to the most fun of us. It happens to everyone. So, you know, if you're feeling that way, just lighten up on yourself. The thing is, too, is that a lot of the times when we experience things, people that we want to talk to about it will say, oh, I just think that you're being sensitive, or, oh, I just think that you are looking at it the wrong way. If something feels in your heart like you have something to say about it or it's hurting you, you have every right as a human being to stand up for yourself. This is not like, oh, they said I shouldn't feel that way, so I shouldn't. No. You are allowed to have every feeling that comes across your being. You also need to take responsibility for it and find out the truth regarding it, if it comes from something that someone else put on you, or it is really the truth. It really is something that someone, needs to work and grow on themselves. But ultimately, you are the only one that you have responsibility for. So that's really all we need to worry about right now. But when it is coming from your own perspective, then it needs to be worked out. You're having those feelings for a reason. In those feelings, when something does happen to us that is not our fault, that's out of our control, and we are 100% validated in feeling that, sometimes we identify with the negative idea. Sometimes we think, oh, this bad thing happened to me, so I must not be worth living. I must not be worth being on this planet. And especially when things happen over and over, you start to think wait a second here. Am I here by mistake? No, you're not here by mistake. It's actually here to make you stronger. These things are happening to make you stronger. What will start happening is low self-esteem starts showing itself in ways like you'll start lacking social skills, self-esteem, not being able to relate to people, not being able to stand up for yourself, feeling so sensitive that you can't even take positive, criticism, constructive criticism. You start being defensive and hostile to everyone because you feel like everyone is just picking on you, and it's like bad day over and over and over again. You start overanalyzing everything because you're trying to figure it all out, and you become anxious and fearful. You start becoming afraid of everything, not just bad things. You start becoming afraid of good things, good positive people. You look at them like, wait a second, you're not real. People like you aren't around because you've identified with the people in your life that have hurt you. There are people that you can trust, and there are people, the majority of people, no matter what you've experienced, the majority of the people are just trying to do the best that they can and ultimately do not want to hurt you. There's so many loving, caring people out there, and I know when it's dark, it's hard to see that, but there really is. Some of the things, the ways that you can deal with this is immediately the first thing that you should do is just go out for a walk. Get out of your bed, go out for a walk, go be in the trees, go be by the ocean, go be out in nature. Depending on where you're at, being with people might not be the best thing. But go out and be in nature. Go listen to the birds. Go watch the ocean waves and just let yourself go. Most important, avoid negative situations. One of the things that is really hard is to be able to function when other people are just pointing out the negative stuff in everything. You might not even notice it until you step back and look, but being around positive people positivity is contagious. It's like one of the best things you can do for yourself. And the other things, like the main things, positive people and being out in nature, but then the other things that are like ultimately in your control, you definitely need to get the right amount of sleep a night. you need to set up a routine. You need to be in bed at a similar time, and you need to get up at a similar time. And you also need to eat clean food. There's so many different things that you can eat. There is organic, but there's also kosher. There's halal. There is just fruits and vegetables that haven't been sprayed with pesticides and herbicides. The thing that I would tell you the most is just to avoid something in a package, really, over anything, and make sure that the meat that you eat, any animal products that you eat, are not mistreated. Like, make sure the animals that you eat, make sure the animal products that you eat come from an animal that has been treated humanely and kindly. Everything is energy, and when we eat that, it goes in and emerges with our cells to create more energy, and that energy is going to have a memory bank of whatever the animal you experienced had. So, one thing that you can practice is replacing negative thoughts with positive thoughts. There is something that I started to do, and it totally takes practice. It's not just like the first time it happens. So, just work on it. Don't be hard on yourself. Just slowly start to remember, because when you have that bad feeling from a negative thought, you can take your choice. You can either go spiral down into it, or you can replace it with a positive thought, and that is not only like 50,000 times more powerful, but you're also training your brain to stop and to go over to that positive thought and to actually carry that on to your neighbor, whoever you come into contact with. So that's something huge. The other thing is journal. Okay, I'm going to share with you my journal entries. And I saved this for the end because I don't want to break down and start crying on you guys. The truth is, where I'm at right now, I am just getting my life together. I am just coming out of being ill for years and relearning everything. There was a doctor that said you could pretty much sum up your brain working as if it was in a coma your entire life, basically just in a coping state. So I've had to relearn a lot of things, and it's been hard for me to accept. That's another thing. I had all these time stamps for myself. I wanted to be doing this by that time and that by this time, and I guess the universe had a different plan for me, but I definitely am so grateful that it's brought me here to where I am with you guys today. And I do want to share some journaling with you. It is one of the things that saved my life. A combination of so many things saved my life. People, experiences, spiritual experiences, journaling, exercise, food. It's just a whole life overhaul. So I'm going to read this to you, and then I guess we'll just see what happens from there. But it's called Life is Short. I woke up and turned on the TV. Infomercials give me a negative feeling, and the news is even worse. The only channel I can handle is music. I'm living for everyone else, but I want to live for myself. The thing is, I feel like a child that doesn't know how to make decisions for myself. This is the worst feeling because it's Thanksgiving. I'm going to be thankful my grandparents are here. Every day I wake up and feel the weight of my entire life, past and present and future, on my shoulders. I wish I knew how to just live for today. So you can see in that journal entry how we can be living two completely different experiences at the same time. We can be so grateful for things and so grateful for people and trying to find the light while everything is so dark. I really just want to encourage you to hang in there. I remember at one of the worst points in my life, I had literally had my head on a chair while I was laying on the ground, being about to be admitted into a mental institution for the second time. And all of a sudden, everything, all of the tornado is what I used to describe it as, the tornado in my brain that was whirling around and whirling around, finally became silent. And the only thing that I heard was a tiny whisper, the tiny whisper of my intuition that said, keep going, keep going, keep going. Just keep going. Don't give up. There's no reason to not be here anymore. You can change all that. So I'm going to leave you guys with that for now. And I'm going to see you guys in New York. I'm actually going to do a lot of videoing. I don't know the right word for that, but I'm going to be doing a lot of videotaping and share that experience with you because I've never been there before and I'm so excited. Until next time, thank you for tuning in to Equality TV, and I look forward to sharing more experiences with you guys.